You are listening to the Beaverton, North America's trusted source of news.
This week on the Beaverton, Dick Cheney was sadly still alive until yesterday. The parts of the U.S. government not responsible for blowing up Venezuelan fishing boats remain shut down. And the Yukon Party won a majority government in Yukon's provincial election, easily beating the anti-Yukon Party. That's right, it's time to make fun of the news once again on the Beaverton Weekly Report. Welcome to the show, everyone. So glad you were tuning in. I'm your host and totally alive human being, Luke Gordon Fields. Or maybe I'm AI. Who knows? No, thank you so much to Ian for hosting while I was away. I was sick and coughing my lungs out, so probably wouldn't have been a fun experience to listen to me talk and cough right into your ears. Now I'm back, thrilled to be here, back with you all, ready to talk about the news. Joining me this week are three of our regular panelists, all of whom have plans to stay up all night reading the 400 pages of the budget. Ian MacIntyre, Clare Blackwood, and MacKay. Welcome, all three of you.
Well, I was going to read it to Dick Cheney, but I just found out he died. It sucks.
Oh, that would have been such a lovely evening. Just reading a budget and then shooting someone in the face.
My favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
My two favorite things.
I mean, his favorite, one of them at least.
Well, we share that we have a lot in common. That's why we're friends.
Yeah, you can just email him the budget. It's like dick@hell.com.
It'll get there. It'll get there.
Yeah. A carrier pigeon just directly into the Hades underworld. We'll find him. Yes, so there's so much to talk about. Of course, the biggest news of the week, it came out just shortly before we recorded, so we're unpacking it sort of in real time for you all. The first Liberal budget under Mark Carney since he was elected has come out. It is 406 pages long. There is $141 billion in new spending projected over 5 years and a $78 billion deficit this year. There's also $51 billion in savings, aka cutting things we like. The thing that jumped out the most to me that I want to bring you in on first is just like, this is a fairly, standard right-of-center liberalish budget, except for the massive commitment to military spending. It is $81 billion in a funding package for the armed services, which, in the short time since the budget was announced, I'm already seeing, people who are, kind of analysts in this area talking about how there is no way to spend this much money without, one, just throwing it in a pit and lighting on fire, or just completely revolutionizing essentially our armed services and making them 2, 3, 4 times larger than they are currently.
No, but Luke, fire pit is our defense plan.
Fire moat. We're just going to build a whole moat around Canada and set it on fire.
Yeah, we'll get a red witch to light it like in that Game of Thrones episode no one could see.
No, we funneled the oil pipelines into the moat and then we set it on fire.
It all
Danielle
fits.
Smith is going to be thrilled.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the term Ring of Fire comes from, right? All those Doug Ford ads we were watching in the World Series.
I knew it. Everyone told me I was stupid for saying it. Thank you for validating me.
But, other than a literal Ring of Fire, what are we going to spend this money on? Other than just, we know we wanted to commit 2% to defense spending because that's the NATO requirement, and we wanted, Trump to get off our back. This is so far beyond that immediately, especially as our GDP continues to not do very well. Is this just... It almost feels like, essentially like when you ramp up for a war or a conflict, but we're just ramping up to satisfy an ally who cannot be satisfied? I'm not really sure what we're doing here.
Well, I'm going to enlist, and I don't work for scale, so that's the first line item right there.
You're showing up to the military being like, what's the ACTRA weekly rate for the Navy?
Correct.
My day rate as a union actor is like $900.
No, y'all are thinking too low. Meg needs points on the back end of this war that's coming.
Yeah.
The first and only Canadian entertainment person to get points in the back end gets it through the armed services.
I'm ready to negotiate. I know how to hold a gun. I know how to dig hole. What else do you need? How hard is military? Seems fine.
I can do 0.5 of a push-up.
Easy. Have a push-up.
I mean, it got me beat for sure, so I'm not judging.
I want armed moose and or goose battalions. You're spending this much of my tax dollars. I want cool shit.
If we're spending this much, I think to get that much of a military, we will need to enlist the meese and geese.
And then there's going to be a movie about the Meese and Geese Battalion and how they saved us in the not war that didn't happen. They're just there. They're just frolicking with gun. That's great.
Yeah, it's the Canadian version of American Eagle starring Louis Gossett Jr. It's Canadian Goose.
Incredible.
Goose on moose. With gun.
You know how, in that the Geneva Convention was mostly written because of all the atrocities Canada committed in World War I? Mm-hmm. It's like that, but with a moose.
Dude, moose are fucked up.
They commit war crimes every day.
All the time.
I remember talking to two British guys once, and they were like, "How big are moose really?" And then I was like, and then it was like a Volkswagen, like camper van thing. And I was like a male moose would be like bigger than that. They were like, "Bullshit!" And I was like, show them a picture. They were like, "Oh fuck, okay."
I have never seen a moose in my life, and it is to
fucking
my
nuts.
detriment. I'm so sad because I think it is truly one of those things that like I objectively know how large a moose is, but I feel like I can't truly appreciate it until I see one in real life.
It's genuinely fucking scary. Like,
Yeah.
I drove
I believe
past
it.
one, and I was like, when you're driving past one and it's thinking about walking onto the road, you're like, my life is flashing before my eyes. It's not good. It ain't fun.
Yeah, my Kia Sorento is not going to survive an impact with that giant, majestic animal.
Especially
no.
if that moose is heavily armed with our tax dollars.
Fires a couple shots before he caves in your windshield.
Put a turret on the moose. Put a turret on the moose.
You guys got some Hellfire missiles. Are you kidding?
That's what the antlers are for.
Yes, thank you.
But actually, for realsies though, aren't we working on some sort of submarines? Aren't they looking to submarines? Am I crazy? I think I read.
Yeah, I mean, we got to
something
counter
about
the
that.
U-boats, so it's important. I mean, how is the Lusitania supposed to make it to shore if we don't work on the submarines?
I thought I read something.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, what year is this?
We've almost built our first Enigma machine. The Kaiser's going to go down.
The submarine armed with bayonets, ready for trench warfare? Like, what is happening?
You guys are going to not be laughing when Atlantis joins the party. We're going to be so ready.
The geese are getting mustard gas.
Oh, Trump tariffed the hell out of Atlantis already.
And they're mad.
So mad.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing about this is, like, I get it. It's a scary world. There are conflicts everywhere.
Sure.
Having the saying we're building, the biggest and best army is an easy thing to say. It's an easy thing to throw money at, as they have just done. But it's so hard to be like, we're the austerity government. The liberals for the last decade went buck wild. They went nuts. And now everyone agrees we need to cut. And then also be like, except for we're just throwing money in a general direction at people in camouflage with guns and hoping they use it for something.
I think that makes total sense in the minds of, if we're talking about conservative liberal spending. I think it makes complete sense that conservatives would look at this budget and be like, fuck yeah, military. Absolutely. Give it as much money as it needs. And then we'll cut back on everywhere else. We'll cut back on social services. We'll cut back on personnel. We'll cut back on everything else. That totally is in line with what I expected a Carney government to do.
Oh, yeah. I expected him to spend. I just didn't know it was going to be the
Fair,
success.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Megan, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I don't think it's necessarily the right decision, but I do think we have been getting also threats from America, 51st state stuff. So it's not completely illogical. I don't know if it's the right move, but it at least makes sense within that sphere of like, okay, I don't know if they're actually going to conquer us, but if they do, it makes sense that we will be bulking up the military right now.
And I mean, they have such a bigger military than us that it will be laughable at comparison, but I do like the idea that we're investing in going down swinging.
Yeah, that's true. That is literally, I think, what it is like, it's not going to be without a fight. If we spend this money, we'll at least hold them off for like a week.
Oh, guerrilla warfare in the wilds of Manitoba is going to be outstanding.
Oh man, there's going to be a whole HBO series about that.
So some of the other elements of the budget that we got to get into. So the overall thing, as I mentioned, $78 billion deficit. So our debt servicing costs, which is just a roundabout way of saying the fuck ton we pay in interest, are going to be $55.6 billion this year. And I've seen similar articles written about that in the past, and they always always do the same thing. They bring in an economist to say, yes, but it's okay because every other G7 countries is worse. What are the other G7 countries fucking doing if spending $55 billion just in interest, not even the principal, is good by comparison?
Making delightful wine. Probably enjoying a higher quality of life. Maybe.
Hey, are you saying Wayne Gretzky Vineyards does not make a good wine here in Canada?
Is Wayne Gretzky listening to the podcast right now? If
Huge
no,
fan, Patreon
it
supporter.
fucking sucks. Oh, sorry, Wayne.
It's 6:45. He's for sure passed out drunk by now.
Oh, did not know that was a thing.
Damn. At Mar-a-Lago, so.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It just seems like, sorry, Ian, go.
I was going to say, yeah, what are they doing? I was joking last week about how, I think Mark Carney's real plan with Donald Trump is wait and heart attack. And now I'm starting to wonder if his plan with the world is wait, then implode. like world implode kind of thing.
Yeah.
And also they have free university over there,
In
don't
other
they?
countries?
In other countries, yeah.
In Europe and stuff like that. I don't know if they all do, but I certainly know that Germany does.
Yeah, Germany's so weird though, because like they tear off their children at the age of like 4 into university and not university and real dumb.
What?
Yeah.
4?
Well, I think it's like it's like halfway through elementary school, so it's like what would that be, 8 or 9, something like that.
What do you mean? So you can't
there's
go
3 they corral you into 3 different streams. There's
Always
the
a good thing when the Germans corral people.
sorry. There's fuck. Yeah.
Anyway, keep talking about these adorable children.
Yeah. There's I don't know why this matters. Anyways, there's gymnasium, which is like the kids who are going to go to university and beyond. Then there's the practicum, who are like going to be like, let's call it like, civil servants and stuff. And they like go to like, 2 or 3 year programs. And then there's the kids who are just like, you're going to be a fucking plumber. And like they
This
push
is
them
like
that way.
Divergent.
Yes, it's 100%
It's
this.
like a YA fantasy novel. Are you serious?
100%, yeah.
I cannot believe it. So, like, if you're put into the smart people group,
Yes.
can you become a plumber and vice versa?
No, they can never love each other.
I just think that, like,
If you get permission of the state, you can live in sin, but you can never marry.
like if you're part of the good with hands group, plumbing group, can you go to like, that? That just blows my mind.
For sure, there are like ways you can switch. Like it's not like you're tattooed and you're set for life. But like there is essentially like ways. Like if you were like really killing it, maybe you can write the entrance exams and get into the gymnasium or whatever. But like it is very regimented.
My mind is blown.
This is very relevant to our Canadian budget
I'm so
conversation.
sorry.
Sorry.
I'm so
No, it's
sorry.
all me. I brought it up. But yes, so that's what. So yes, so in other words, what I'm saying is they very much limit who gets to go to university. But yeah. Anyways,
Not a lot of art history majors getting paid for by the state.
no, I mean they would have been the art history kids definitely would have been in the Shishi your smart kid class.
I don't think Germany should be rejecting anyone from art school. Did we not? Sure.
That was the problem the first time. You're
I
right.
don't think that's a
God damn
good
it.
thing to repeat. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a real rule against that now.
Yeah.
Everyone gets into art school.
But anyway, money isn't real, so I don't know why this deficit matters. I just throw my credit card statement out the window every time I get it. And whatever, not my problem anymore. Money's spent. What are you going to do? Arrest me?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean the thing that's the thing that's so funny is it's a situation like to use your credit card example. It's a thing where like if we all had massive credit card debt, but also all the credit card companies had massive credit card debt,
Sure.
and everyone was just passing debt around in a circle, like past the parcel, like, and it was just like at some point, I guess the music will stop and someone will be left holding it. But it's just like if everyone calls in everyone's debt, like what happens? We all the only one who comes out ahead is China, who doesn't have debt. But like everyone else is just debt to debt to debt to debt. So it's like it is sort of this ridiculous system where like it kind of isn't real because we've just created a system where like that old expression like if you owe the bank $100, you should be worried. If you owe the bank $1 million, the bank should be worried. It's sort of like that. It's like no one can really call in the debt because the whole thing comes crashing down.
It's like mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
It's why nuclear war, no one wants to press the button because everyone else is going to press the button.
Yeah.
So I was right. Money isn't real. Who cares?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you
Somebody
actually are
who
very
could
right.
never financially afford to retire. This is actually quite comforting.
Yeah, this is now my retirement plan, man.
Oh, my retirement plan has been to like die in the water wars for a long time now.
Yeah, I mean, and that's our message to you, listeners at home. Please just go out and rack up massive credit card bills and spend, and then don't call us and tell us how it worked out. Don't leave a comment about it. Just live your life. So that's what's going on with the debt. And I just thought it was so funny where it's just like every time we mention our debt, we're like, but it's okay. Other countries are worse. But yeah, so the other elements of the budget. So we are getting rid of the emissions cap and we are canceling the Trudeau government's 2 billion tree plant commitment, which was the most we're not actually going to do this announcement in the history of government announcents I think I've ever seen.
They planted a whole 2 trees. The whole 2.
Yeah, they each have a plaque saying like the first 2 trees, and there's just no third tree.
There's like 2 billion plaques just sitting in a warehouse.
Why did
somewhere.
we buy all these
Minus
plaques in
2.
advance?
That
They're all made
represented
of
so many trees to make these plaques.
I have to say, total scam, because trees plant trees if you leave them alone long enough. That's how trees are made. You leave a tree, it makes a second tree eventually. We don't need to put. Sorry. We do need to environment important. Trees will make more trees if you leave them alone. We just have to leave alone the trees that we have.
Yeah, we're not leaving alone the trees. We're very much not leaving alone the trees.
What do you mean?
It's a full Giving Tree situation, and we're on the last page.
The tree was not happy. That tree got scammed. Don't even get me started on that book.
In fairness, though, Trudeau totally has the vibes of a guy who's like, I'm going tree planting this summer, and then plants like no trees and comes back with like the worst dreadlocks you've ever seen and a girlfriend you can't stand.
I was going to say, he has hooked up with every single woman there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone in the
Tree.
camp.
Yeah.
And tree.
And tree.
He's
Both
busy.
trees.
The amount of human and tree STDs he would come back with.
ST trees.
Aphids or
ST trees.
ST trees? S3Ds.
ST trees. There we go.
There
That's
it is.
Thank
We
you.
found
Yeah,
it.
that's right. You're an editor.
Yeah, so that, I mean, are we just giving up on climate change? Do we just not have time for it right now? It's just like, that was the last year's problem.
I feel like, yeah.
See previous wait for world to collapse financial plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like that, and not to segue too far ahead, but like when we're getting into like bed with China, it feels like concerns over human rights abuses and climate change are like, look, we can afford to do that when the stock market is soaring and everyone's employed. That's a luxury problem, even though we know it's not, and that climate change will very much not be waiting around for the economy to get good before it can be addressed. But like, it does very much feel like our whole vibe is like, look, when our debt to GDP ratio hits this, we'll worry about climate change. Until then, the Earth's going to stop changing and it'll be fine.
This is exactly like my mentality towards the gym. I'm like, oh man, when I my workload gets less and I don't have, I've my social commitments are fewer and I have more time and I'm mentally well, I'm going to go back to the gym. It never happens.
Yeah.
Somehow I haven't been to the gym in months.
Yeah, I got a broken echelon bike at home that I'm like, I'm definitely gonna fix that this week.
Yeah, it's over for you,
Get
bitches.
back on it. And then one more thing to talk about. Well, two more things. One real, one stupid. The real one is that the public service, and this really does suck, is supposed to be cut by 38,000 people by 2028, 2029. Now, they say through attrition, meaning retirement primarily, and I guess people being let go for non-cutting reasons, which does happen. Like, people
Like stealing
fuck up
office supplies?
Well, people, or short-term contracts coming to an end, things like that, right? But retirement's mostly is obviously the plan. We have a huge boomer workforce that is aging out. Although, as we joked off mic, that commitment of like when we were coming out of school and everyone was like, hey, in 10, 15 years when the boomers start retiring, the job market's going to be awesome. And that hasn't materialized for fuck's sake at all. But anyways, so that is the plan. But also they did mention for the, I think, first time that they will need to do buyouts. It won't all be attrition. They will be needing to. And buyouts just means like letting people go nicely. Like they voluntarily accepted a buyout, meaning like they knew that if they didn't voluntarily accept a buyout, next week we were coming back to fire them, so they took the buyout.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's the probably shittiest part of all of this is that, I get it. People want to see government reduced, and that is very much, in the pendulum swinging. That is where we're at right now politically. But these are real people who are have signed up for, and many of them, took on this work when they could have made a lot more money in the private sector. They felt some kind of calling to either help Canada or, whatever, it was the work-life balance, whatever attracted them to the job. And you're potentially losing people who are very committed to helping the programs that we all depend on to continue working. So, in the grand scheme of things, I don't want that to get lost. Like when you say 38,000 people, that's 38,000 people who are potentially losing their lives. Yes, some of them are going to retire and ride off in the sunset and blah, 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 but a lot of them are not. It's just people who are losing work who need work. So that's, for all the, for all the rah-rah cut the government thing, like, it's real people with real lives here. And that's the thing that I think is going to be the biggest fight because, like, they're not going to find 38,000 people to take buyouts, I don't think, or retire. So it's going to be like, how do you get rid of this many people? Now, they have 3 years to do it.
I think Polyev is just going to be trying to hide his gleeful smile as all of those people get let go.
Yeah, they deputize Polyev as the firing guy.
That'll keep him occupied for years.
Yeah.
Like George Clooney in that movie with Anna Kendrick, where his job is just to go around the country firing people, but it's Polyev with just like a raging hard on the whole time.
I was going to say, this sounds like his wet dream. Like, yeah.
His own crappy version of Doge, which was already pretty crappy.
Yeah. Oh, man. But it'll be even less cool somehow.
Mm-hmm. Less cool than ketamine-addicted Elon Musk.
Doing weird jumping jacks.
Yeah. I mean, at least that's like horrifyingly entertaining. Pierre's got nothing. He's got nothing. He doesn't even have a weird dance move.
The search for Canada's big balls is on. We have to find him. Big balls, where are you?
It's on the moose. It's on our army moose.
I'm so sad that I know you meant a human being whose nickname is Big Balls and not just the concept of having big balls.
Oh, God. Yeah, we got to find him.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last thing I want to mention of the details of the budget, we're trying, and this is the most non-budget thing ever. We're trying to get into Eurovision. So that's very important. I don't know what financial commitments we need to make to send a
I hope there was a line
over.
item in the budget just for this.
Just training. We're just going to train a bunch of pop stars and let them loose on Iceland or wherever the fuck.
No, it's Trudeau's gonna pull some strings and get Katy Perry to represent Canada.
No.
Come on.
No, I demand they sub in Brand Van 3000.
Yes.
That's who we're sending to Eurovision.
This is a Trojan horse for Dan with Webster to go global. That's what this is.
Or to call back to, I think, like our first episode of this. What's the B44? Like, if you
get down on me, I'll get down on you.
Oh, damn.
That one.
Yeah.
And the music video of just a cute kid running around with a camera, and it's like, what message are we sending here?
No, we
it's just
mustn't.
cute kid taking Polaroids,
Yeah.
and then it's like just.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
No.
In fairness, I give B44 some credit, which is they didn't capitalize when eating ass became so popular a couple years ago. They didn't capitalize with a follow-up just about eating ass.
You say that with the confidence of a man who's like written think pieces on this. We all remember the eating ass boom of
No.
2020.
There was
I
a
did not know
conversation
this.
about eating ass a couple years ago. You guys can pretend it wasn't happening. I don't care.
I'm not even pretending.
I missed the discourse.
I'm so
You did.
online.
You
and
did.
I somehow-
People leave a comment if you remember that there was a movement. People were talking about it. There was a girls episode about it. There was a conversation.
Leave comments about eating ass on the Beaverton Patreon is what he's asking you to be
You can do it on the
clear.
non-paid paywalled parts too. We can do it on iTunes.
You can
It's
do
fine.
it anywhere. You can do it on Dick Cheney's posthumous Twitter account. It doesn't. We're not going to tell you where to talk about eating ass or not. That's your business.
Look, am I terminally online? Maybe, but it was a thing. Anyways, the other big question of the budget, I'm sticking with it, is whether or not they can pass it. Because of course, all of this is completely for naught. If they don't pass it, not only is there not a budget, we're going to a fucking another election, and who knows what happens. So, at this point, they're 3 seats side of majority, so they need 3 votes from any of the other parties. And they've already potentially got one because a Conservative MP, Chris D'Entremont, is talking about crossing the floor. He's already left the Conservative caucus shortly before we recorded. That was announced.
Yeah,
and
Yarmouth,
the-
Nova Scotia, baby.
And the potential revelation is that he's going to be joining the Liberal Party, which presumably would mean he's going to vote for the budget. Of course, I mean that'd be insane to join the Liberal Party and then immediately vote against their
no.
budget. He said he was waiting to see the details of the budget before he revealed whether he was going to cross or not. So that would get them down to just they need 2 votes. I mean, I can't see this actually going against the Liberals because. I mean, I know the NDP is down to like 6 seats, but that's all they need. And they can't afford an election right now. The NDP going into election right now would be insane.
They don't even have a real leader.
That's what I'm saying. They have no leader, they have no money, and everyone would blame them for causing an election that no one wants.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is there any chance you guys think we're getting a Christmas election?
Oh.
The
No one can
best
afford-
Hallmark movie ever made. Yeah.
Votes for the holidays.
Votes for a very Ottawa Christmas. I mean, I think it would be stupid.
Yeah.
But the NDP definitely said that they were willing to contemplate abstaining from the vote. So
Well, abstaining would be fine because that would get the Liberals what they need anyways.
Yeah, I can see them
I
doing
can see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as much as this is a conservative wet dream budget, there's no way they will vote for it. They've already said, we won't vote for this. That's kind of our whole thing. And it sounds like the Bloc didn't get enough of what they wanted, and they're just like, fuck you.
Have we heard, okay, and this is, because I genuinely don't know, have we heard beyond just being children about it, what the Conservatives want from this budget that we didn't give them?
They want it to be a conservative budget with a conservative prime minister introducing it.
they
So
want
it's just like,
budget they
it could
wrote,
be
yeah.
the most conservative budget, but because Polyev was not the one to make it,
Yes.
they're going to say no.
I mean, I'm
God, I
sure
hate
they
that.
would disagree with that public. I'm sure they would come out and say,
Yeah.
no, we want a budget
More
that gets
military
us
spending.
Well, or we want a budget with way less spending. We want to cut the CBC. We want to cut,
Right.
this. So we want to cut this social program, that social program. Of course, they don't want to name the social programs because people like social programs. So as soon as they start naming social programs, they want cut. People are like, hey, $10 daycare really helps me. I don't want that gone. But anyways,
I
they
like
want.
food.
Yeah. They want to cut everything. And so there's, their belief is that anything that like is a deficit budget is unacceptable. Of course, as soon as they get in office, they'll start running deficit budgets.
Yeah.
But in opposition, they get to say deficit budgets are unacceptable and we're mortgaging the future. And again, I get that rationale and there's a logic to it. Yeah. And I'd be fine with a non-deficit budget, just increase taxes and cut military spending, and I'm happy as a clam, and get to a non-deficit budget. But that's certainly not the way the Conservatives want to get there. They want to get there by cutting all the other spending.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
But yeah. So we'll see. I mean, we'll know fairly shortly.
I just got distracted by the fact that Claire is very kindly filling all of our waters. Like we all just sat down at the Olive Garden, and she's the nice one at the table. It's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, no, there's no way. I don't think we're going to an election.
No.
It would just be such an insane cell phone in a year where our whole thing is let's not get destroyed by the United States. And any party that is seen to have been engineering that dumb Christmas election, like I don't care how much the Conservatives are like, wow, we have reasons. They will wear it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there'll be any party who is seen as causing an election right now will immediately drop 4 or 5 points in the polls.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the Liberals, of course, are, Carney is probably
yes,
secretly,
we would hate that.
Yeah, like Carney is like, I genuinely hope they vote against it because we got so close to majority and all we need is to do a little bit better than last time. And the polls indicate we're right around that currently. Now, the Conservatives beat their polls going into the last election. And they can assume that they'll do it again, but polling biases doesn't always work the same way, and it usually swings back and forth. And then, so if there's a 4-point drop in Conservative numbers because they're seen as causing an election, then it's almost a guaranteed Liberal majority.
Yeah. I don't think, I think going into that last election, Pierre was on a real heater of a run leading up to it, and he hasn't had that this year. No. So I think he'll do even worse, and I think he'll lead the party even worse.
Yeah, and I mean, he can't... he's facing a leadership review in January. But if he loses 2 elections, even these incredibly, MAGA light, Maple MAGA guys who have put him in power there, even they can't stand by him after 2 election losses, especially if one of them led to a Liberal majority.
Yeah,
he would be out on his butt. And there's already some knives out for him. I mean, obviously, this guy crossing the floor, the despicable comment directed at the RCMP leadership seems to have been that rare thing that actually is provoking backlash within the Conservative Party.
Oh, so just to clarify that comment, what was that comment? Because we never talked about that on the show.
Oh, the comment was that the RCMP leadership, who I believe he said, and he's quibbling over every interpretation of his comment, but what he literally said, I believe, to some effect, was that the RCMP leadership was despicable in the way that they protected Trudeau from criminal prosecution that Pierre believed Trudeau should have been done for SNC-Lavalin and the Aga Khan scandal.
Oh, yes.
So that is being seen as attacking a independent, neutral body, and as Conservatives being a very back the blue kind of party. That's being seen as like a bridge too far, like he went way too far on that, which I'm certainly don't disagree with. It's interesting because of course he said so many more, I would argue, controversial things, but this is being seen as probably attacking people that align with the Conservatives. So that's prompting the backlash more than anything, and the just general Trumpiness of it all, because it so reads like Trump being like, any prosecutor or whatever who challenged me is going to jail and they're all corrupt and evil and I'm going to send them all to jail. It just reads like that, which is the reason he lost the election in the first place, is he seems like Trump. Very long answer to your question. Sorry about that. But let's talk about Trump, and let's talk about the current trade war and how it's pushing us towards a new potential business partner. So Carney has met with the leader of China, Xi Jinping, and shortly thereafter, China announced that group tourism would be allowed again from Canada. I don't know if they specifically promised not to kidnap anyone and accuse them of spying while holding them illegally for years, but I guess that was implicit. I'm not sure.
No, I think it'd be a pretty boss move for Carney to just put that in the contract.
They're going to keep doing it, but they're going to make it feel like an escape room. So it's like you're having fun. I'm on vacation. I'm having fun.
Until you're not.
Day 12. I'm still having fun. Still can't find the combination to this lock. Can we get another hint?
Do they come here and build their own rooms?
Yes, of course. Yes. There's rooms all over the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
are they also going to employ Toronto comedians?
They're called black sites. They're employing Toronto comedians for sure.
The escape rooms, yes.
All escape rooms have to employ comedians. I mean, we all know that.
Costumes and funny voices.
I mean, if you've been to a single escape room in Toronto and then been to a comedy show later that night, you've seen the same people.
Waka waterboarding. Like, it's so ridiculous.
Thanks, Fozzie.
Yeah, so that is, we'll see how many people want to, travel to China, knowing what happened to the two Michaels, but we'll see about that. The main goal obviously is we need a massive new customer base, and the second biggest economy in the world, or I guess they're technically the biggest than the United States, is China. So, hey, the U.S. is being a dick to us. Let's move over to China and do business with them. So there's conversations about reducing the tariffs on canola oil, reducing the tariffs on Chinese electric cars that are apparently just amazing. And the only reason they're not dominating the market over here is because the U.S. and Canada essentially banned them with extremely prohibitive tariffs. The question I want to ask you guys is this a real move towards a further economic partnership with China, or do we think we're just doing the classic trying to make Trump jealous?
I think we're trying to ally ourselves with anybody who doesn't have the temperament of a confused honey badger at this point.
Yep.
Like, let's be honest. I think it is real. I think it's funny and ironic that, in April they were our biggest security threat, and now they're going to be one of our bigger trading partners. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, right now, Trump has tanked international relations so bad that China looks like the fun parent in the divorce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's real, like, Dad was the fun parent, and then he really bottomed out and, started listening to Jordan Peterson podcasts. So now Mom's the fun parent by default.
Yeah, Dad started drinking in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if they both come with their own baggage, you might as well go to the trading partner that has money and goods and stuff that we want, as opposed to,
And who wants trade?
and who wants trade. Yes,
And
exactly.
who will remember tomorrow that they want trade?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, won't massively turn on a 180 based on an ad during the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, there are issues with China. Obviously, geographically, it is much further away, of course, than the U.S. And China as a economic engine, superpower for sure, primarily a supplier, not a customer.
Yeah.
Whereas we primarily need customers. So it's not a perfect partnership by any stretch. Now, you could say, okay, they primarily are a supplier, but they do need to purchase XYZ that we have, especially natural resources that we do have.
Wheat and sheep?
And potash?
Well, we need clay and wood. I'm trying to make
doing
a Catan.
Catan, yes.
Trying to do a
now I get
Catan
it, now I
joke.
get it.
It's okay. We got a 2-for-1 port on potash, so it's fine.
Good. All right, yes.
Yes, Ian and I play a lot of Catan together for people who want a behind-the-scenes story.
We actually don't play a lot of Catan. We play it once a year at your cottage, and it takes me a full game to relearn how to play Catan.
That's entirely fair.
Yes, I should say we play Catan more than I play Catan with anyone because 1 beats 0.
There you go, right? Yeah.
And that's the number of times that I think you should play Catan per year.
That
I
feels
realize
right.
that's a spicy take.
I think
but,
there's a lifetime limit on Catan.
There's better games out there.
we can get into this. No, there's not. Anyways,
No.
it doesn't matter. I have started, full confession, I have started playing it online at night. So I'm pretty addicted to Catan right now, so I'm very offended you just said that. Look, I was sick for 2 weeks. I needed an activity.
Oh, fair enough.
You can only rewatch Gilmore Girls so many times, friends.
Okay, I want to remain employed. That's fine. Enjoy Catan.
True.
Play as
Yes,
much
we
as you
love
want.
Catan. Catan is best. Catan is God.
The Beaverton Podcast, not sponsored by Catan, but very much brought to you by Catan.
Catan, if you're listening, please sponsor us.
Anywho, so that's the imperfect fit of China, which is that we don't always have what they need and they don't always have what we need in terms of the economic lesson. Plus, of course, the geographical distance. We all live 5 feet from the U.S. border, basically, in big terms. So that trade made a lot more sense. But, I mean, again, as you've all illustrated quite greatly, there are benefits to dealing with someone who's a rational actor. Not necessarily a good actor, but a rational actor.
They're super upfront about how much they want to cheat.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the table stakes. And it's like, okay, well, at least I get what you're doing.
Yeah, you're going to be consistent about it.
Yeah.
And as I think we've seen from, Canada's partnership with Saudi Arabia, I think, it doesn't take much for morals to go out the window. All it requires is that your person you're trading with isn't bat fucking sane.
Yeah. Yeah, we will take lawful evil versus chaotic evil.
That sums it up so goddamn well.
Yeah.
That really does.
It's left over from the D&D podcast that they record here for the week.
Yeah, well, of course, the move comes in the wake of, and I know a lot of this was covered last week, but just to quickly touch on it since then, there was, of course, this World Series ad that pissed Trump off so much, and so much so that, as we've since learned, U.S. Ambassador Pete Hoekstra went on a expletive-filled rant at Ontario's trade representative and just apparently lit into the guy, which sounds like a thing that this guy would do. He seems like a very curmudgeon-y guy and a full-on Trump.
The name Pete Hoekstra sounds like he should be the relief pitchers for the Detroit Tigers in 1987.
Yeah, it does.
Correct.
I was gonna say a hockey player, but that's more specific, and I like it.
Yeah. He'll give you the 7th and the 8th, but you can't trust him with the 9th.
Not at all. No.
He will start punching people.
Same with the current Pete Hoekstra, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it seems to me that, like, similar to the despicable comment, I am shocked by how long this ad has stayed in the news. And, you know, so many things have been said about Donald Trump over the last decade. Why is this ad under his skin so much?
I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I feel like it was just so in your face in a way that Canada often isn't. Like, it was like we went undercover, right, and snuck into the White House and slash America and attacked them from the inside, attacked their media, and we all know how much Trump is in love with media and watching things. And so I think it was like, I think it just felt like internal sabotage as opposed to just us standing on the border of Canada being like, please don't hurt us, Mr. President. It was like we actually got in there and put shit on their TVs that he couldn't say no to.
We used his favorite thing in the world against him, TV.
Exactly.
Well, and it was Reagan too, right? Like Reagan is a god down there, especially to Republicans. I think the only worst move would have been to unearth footage of like the real Jesus Christ saying similar things. Like that would have made him a little
Love
bit
thy
more
neighbor,
angry.
especially if thy neighbor is Mexican.
Yeah, no, exactly. And he's saying stuff that like obviously Reagan actually said that. Those are real clips. And it's so...
No, it's AI. It's all AI.
Yeah, it's like...
It was AI the whole time.
It's all AI. But it's so antithetical to all of the stuff they're actually doing down there. And it's being spoken like unprompted from their God, right?
Yeah.
Like it's that... I can see why it would bother them.
To your point, too, I think it was so clever that, again, they did this as a TV commercial. They knew Trump would see it. They knew it would bother him. And by watching him freak out about it, it drew so much more attention to the ad. And the thing that Trump hates the most is when people manage to get the vegetables of the truth down the throat of the American voting public.
Right. He's got them all hopped up on candy and racism.
All the time. And it's like, oh, you made me freak out, and it called attention to this bullshit that normally I can talk over and just kind of hand wave away. And he's so mad that for 5 seconds, American people were listening to actual trade policy.
Yeah. The only thing I'll add to that, and I think everyone made great points, is, you know, similar to the Reagan as a god, the other god is baseball. Like, obviously, baseball is not their most popular sport. That's football by a mile. But the whole mythology of baseball, America's pastime, et cetera, doing it in the World Series.
Yes.
Not that I think Trump gives a shit about baseball, but it's an event, and it's tied to the mythos, to the story of America in such a way that was also such a personal affront to this bullshit American ego mentality that Trump has. So it was using, you're right, the right-wing god of Reagan, the only more popular figure in the Republican Party than Trump probably is Reagan, and, you know, using baseball, America's pastime, against him. I think that was just such a twofer. And that aspect of it is actually significant. It's like if they'd done that ad just on Fox News on a Saturday morning, Trump would have seen it, maybe fires off a tweet. But I think the fact that it was in the World Series, and Trump, and also knowing it was going to be watched by 10 million people or 8 million people, or however many watched, Game 1 of the World Series, like that was such an element to it as well. It was national spotlight and America's sport. Like I saw so many, when the Dodgers won, which we're going to segue into in a second, when the Dodgers won, I saw so many Americans be like, haha, take that, Canada. And it was like, all right. I mean, this wasn't the Olympics. It wasn't like the Four Nations. Like this, we have one Canadian on the team who is sort of Canadian because he was born here, but is fully a Dominican Republican person. And like,
he can be both, Luke.
He absolutely can be. I think he would identify, he plays for the DR in international events. So I think he very much identifies as Dominican first and Canadian second. Sure. But we love him, and I'm not complaining about him in the slightest. So, you know, it wasn't actually a Canada versus America thing, but it was hilarious that they were trying to make it that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that might be a good segue, which is, you know, I mean, we can't not talk about it. It was the sporting event of the year and probably then some. The Blue Jays, and obviously with Clare and me on. For those who are audio only, Clare is wearing a Blue Jays t-shirt right now. You know, the Blue Jays lost Game 7 of the World Series in extra innings, and I will say this, which is that as a Leafs fan, I had a unique kind of arrogance going into this, which is that I thought sports couldn't hurt me more than it already has in the past. I thought I'd acquired a level of immunity like someone who's had cholera 8 times. I was like, well, it can't be worse than 9th or whatever. Like, I thought I was fine. And then that happened. And I was like, that is a level of devastation I've never experienced. Like, because, and again, admittedly, if you'd said to me, or I think a lot of Jays fans, and Claire, I don't know how you feel this, but like before the series, hey, just so you know, your team's going to lose in Game 7 of the World Series in extra innings, but they're going to put the league on notice about how good they are. Vladdy and Addison Barger are going to have like huge breakouts. Rogers going to make so much money that hopefully they put back in the team, et cetera, et cetera. Would you take that? And I'd be like, I think a lot of Blue Jays fans would take that, but it's the way it happened. It's the 20 things that had to break the Dodgers' way for the Jays to lose, and they all broke the Dodgers' way. Yep. But Claire, I want to go to you first, of course, because you're the way bigger Blue Jays fan than me, even.
Okay, I mean, I have now at this point stopped crying over videos of like player interviews where they're also crying and talking about how much they love each other, and God, they're all just pookies. I love them so much. But like and expressing their emotion in a healthy way. I think, I mean, you're right. I think devastating is the perfect word for it. And yes, of course, I would have taken it if you told me at the beginning of the season that they were going to go from last place to second place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, yes, of course we would have taken it. But I think I'm at the point now where I've progressed from deep depression to like, let's try to find the positives in this. And I think that there are so many positives. And I think it's just like, we're going into next season with the majority of our young stars in the team still going to be on the team that contracted for multiple years. Yeah. We have enough money now because they made a shit ton of money. We have enough money that we can get good people on the team. We better buy back Bo Bichette. If we don't, we take to the streets and we riot. I don't care if you care about the Jays. You have to do this in solidarity.
Oh, I'll get it on a riot.
Amazing. Yes. Like, we set a new bar for what we are willing to accept from the Blue Jays as a sports team. Yep. I think is such a huge one. And I think the most important one, and this makes me so happy, is just like, so many more people like baseball now. I know so many people who've reached out to me or just were talking about how they'd never seen a baseball game, or they didn't care about baseball, or they'd never even heard of Ernie Clement or Davis Schneider. And now they're like, I fucking love baseball and I can't wait to watch it next year. They're so invested. My brother's one of those people. It's been so nice seeing him, fall in love with the team. And it's great. Like the numbers were like, half the population of Canada tuned in to the World Series at some point.
Yeah.
19 million people or something like that. Baffling. And so I think, as awful as this was and as sad as it was, I think that's huge. Our country fell in love with baseball again, and they fell in love with this special, special team of special boys who love each other so much, and the majority of them will be back next year, and I think that's great.
Yeah, no, that's very well put. And I was going to ask you to find the bright spots, so I'm glad you did that all on your own. So that's great. And I mean, I completely agree. The thing that has to happen is, as you said, Rogers made so much money off this. So if they don't turn around and yes, I mean, for sure re-sign Bichette and hopefully, sign, maybe a few bullpen arms would have helped.
We need Bassett in a relief position. I want them to get him in a relief.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah. And, maybe a starting pitcher or two couldn't hurt either.
Yes.
I mean, like there's money, you're for sure there's money there. There's also definitely positions that need to be filled there because we were, our starting rotation was down to 2.5-ish arms by the time the playoffs came around. So,
I mean, that's not giving enough respect to Eric Lauer because
Oh, for sure. I mean, he wasn't in the starting rotation by the end, though.
And he should have been.
Fair enough.
For those listening at home, Meg and I are politely nodding on the other side of the table through all of this.
All I'm thinking is if they had onboarded our suggested rule changes and armed everyone with a gun, things would have broken different. When they cleared the benches, that shit would have gone different.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes, the bullpens would have come in as like late cavalry. I mean, you could have given them horses or something like that.
It was so lost in the shuffle, but the poetic justice of him hitting Andres Jimenez after throwing inside 3 times in a row and then finally hitting him and then the bench is clear, and then 2 pitches later, George Springer smacks a
Broflovski.
fastball right
Amazing.
off his leg.
Yeah.
Like, I know George Springer, no baseball player could do that 100%
yes, they
intentionally, because then they would do it every time, because it's like, get the pitcher out of here. You know, I would have been happy if they took out Yamamoto that way. Sorry, that's my hockey mentality coming out, but I would have been happy with that. But, like, you know, but it was so perfect.
Yeah.
And that was one of those moments that, like, you think, like, oh, that's going to be one of the biggest stories of the game. But then 14 other things happen, and you're like, what happened? Oh, right, there was that whole hitting thing.
Like, I forgot there was a fight until now.
Yeah.
Like, that was a huge thing. I'd never seen a fight in real life before in baseball. I was like, this is so fun.
Apparently, it was pretty
Look at them.
unprecedented in like a Game 7 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
you see that in, like,
Yeah.
July or August. You don't see it in the
Tensions
playoffs very
were
often.
high. It was amazing. I mean, it was objectively an incredible game.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really unfortunate that a lot of stuff didn't go the Jays' way. And also, they had chances to score, and they just were like a millimeter too short.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I
you know,
mean-
the ball was a foot too low. Or, you know,
Yeah,
just...
if Ernie Clement hits that a tiny bit further, it goes off the wall, or the guys running into each other don't catch it. You know, if IKF slides head first instead of feet
Yep.
first, he's probably in there, and we win in the bottom of the 9th.
Yep.
There's a million things. I mean, I made a list of them all, and then I just started getting very sad.
I
So I don't
get
want to
so
read them
sad.
all. But yeah, the only other thing I want to say about it is talking about like things that we forget. So I, like many people, don't have cable. So I was watching on Sportsnet Plus, and like many people, in Game 7 of the World Series in the 7th and 8th inning, Sportsnet Plus went down.
For both innings? The whole...
For both innings.
My
I was listening to the
God.
radio like it was 1947 until I found a stream that like Rogers put up a backup stream that I found through Twitter. And I was like, okay, so I was able to watch from like I didn't see the home run off you Savage, but I saw like shortly from that point on afterwards. So I think that was most of the 7th and the 8th. So like Rogers, who again, as we just said, has made probably well over $100 million off this Blue Jays run, charges $30 a month for this service, and it crashed during Game 7 of the World Series. So they got to be a little bit happy the Blue Jays didn't win, because if they had just won straight out, and like the amount of people who would have been furious over the fact that they didn't see the Blue Jays win the World Series would have been insane. Instead, Rogers just gets to brag about how many people watch, as you mentioned, and like keep raking in the subscriber numbers. Whereas like if I had missed the Blue Jays winning the World Series and was like listening to it on the radio, hunched over my Google Home, because that's the closest thing I have to a radio, like sincerely what I was doing, like, you know, like I would have been like, where's the class action? Let's sign up right now. Yeah. So that was just insane. Like, it's $30 a month for this service, and they can't even broadcast. Like, I get it. So many people are coming, but that's the name of the game you signed up for. You wanted these people because we're all paying you for it.
Yeah.
And I get that it's a lot of traffic on your website, but fuck, man.
And it just happened.
Yeah.
Like, it can't happen twice. I understand that they get caught off guard. I'm assuming it was like just too many people signed into Sportsnet and it crashed.
Yeah.
Can't happen again.
Well, to Claire's point, like, we'll start demanding more out of the Blue Jays as an organization. We will never demand more out of Rogers.
No, because we will never get it. It's a fruitless endeavor.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
But we'll be back. That's my final point. I genuinely believe with this team, there is nowhere to go but up. George Springer might have to crumble into dust to do it, but I think we will get back there.
I agree. I think this. I'm hoping this is a Kansas City situation where they lose in heartbreaking fashion, and then they win it the next year. If the Jays, if the Jays could do that, I would be thrilled. Sorry, I went to the Leafs game last night. Sorry, but yes. Well, before we move on to our big closer, why don't we take a few seconds to tell you, the listener, how you can support this podcast. First of all, thank you so much for listening. If you'd be so kind, jump on your app of choice, if you haven't already. Leave a review. We've already told you what comment to leave, so I won't give you a prompt on that one. But leave a review, tell a friend, share our clips. We do always appreciate hearing from you guys about what you liked, what you didn't like. I mean, don't leave a review talking about we laugh too much. Fuck you, we're having fun here. But anyways, other than that, we appreciate it.
Even though you are correct and we do, but
Yeah, but it's fun. And if you want to support us monetarily, feel free to jump on over to patreon.com/thebeaverton. For as little as $4 a month, you get an extended version of this podcast every week where we talk about a story or stories we didn't cover on the rest of the episode. This week we dove into Alberta and the recall movement against the MLAs who voted for who invoked Section 33 to force the teachers back to work. And we also do behind the scenes stuff. We do polls and quizzes on what you'd like to see coming from the Beaverton. We do some extra articles every once in a while. It's a lot of fun over there. Ian?
I have some stuff on the Patreon that I actually wanted to mention.
Sure.
Been looking at the Patreon more regularly lately. We just wanted to send some thanks out to some of our Patreon supporters. We've got Larissa Orick and Ken the MC definitely his given name. 2 of our earliest Patreon supporters.
Yeah.
Also, thank you to Brad F. and Zoe Vatter, who joined just this month. Very, very happy to have you guys here. And a couple of really nice quotes on the Patreon, or comments this week, the nice quotes. Alyssa left us a comment. She said, as a 31-year-old Newfoundland registered nurse, I very much appreciated listening to this week's episode. Loved the brick house shout out.
Nice.
Hey, that was good. And then Flushfoot said, also, here's the Last Week Tonight John Oliver clip about sports betting, which was very nice. I could have looked it up, but I forgot. So I actually got to watch it. Thank you for doing that, Flushfoot.
Yes, thank you. So we really appreciate it. We love the comments, and that is pretty much the only place where we do kind of have the opportunity to engage one-to-one, because the Facebook and Blue Sky and stuff comments and Instagram, there's just too much going on to engage with all of those. So Patreon is pretty much the only place we do engage directly with the comments. So if you wanna get a response from us, Patreon's the place to do it. And with that, it is time for the approximately 10-minute long quiz.
It's the approximately 10-minute long quiz, brought to you by Time.
Every week, I ask our panel to play the approximately 10-minute long quiz, where I put their knowledge of some less widely reported news stories to the test. Panel, our first question. A supermoon will be illuminating Vancouver this week with a name that sounds like a Naked Gun-style double entendre. What is the name of this supermoon?
Big Booty Moon.
I know a cowboy moon is a thing, so I'm going to say the assless chaps moon.
Ooh. That does sound like something we could get Neeson to wear in the sequel, yeah.
Can I guess a couple times?
Yeah?
The Vas Deferens moon.
Ooh. Okay.
What about the fallopian tube moon?
Are we just naming body parts? Are we going to call this like the dick moon or something?
Specific, like women's reproductive body parts.
Again, the double entendre, I think, is being lost a little bit. It's just straight naming body
These
parts.
are real single entendres, man.
Yeah.
The balls.
Okay. Well, I did say to you all before this that if we didn't know the right answer, I would give my favorite joke. It's not going to be the ball. Does anyone know the right answer? Or if not, I'll award based on my favorite joke.
I actually do know the right.
Yeah, please.
It's the beaver moon, right?
Close.
Isn't it
The
the
full
big
beaver.
Oh, really?
The full beaver supermoon. Yeah.
Wow.
So you do know. So yeah, points in on that one. The beaver is massive. No judgment. Someone please. So if someone, again, more talented than me, could make an edit of that scene in The First Naked Gun where Priscilla Presley asks Leslie Nielsen how he likes her beaver, and then hands him a beaver, but instead hands him a supermoon, that'd be great. We could, that's easy to do, right?
Make
That
this
doesn't
for
require.
us.
Yeah.
And then she calls it the balls.
Jesus Christ. The
How
full
do we
moon.
advertise the Beaverton on this full beaver moon? It's just a corporate synergy waiting to happen.
Yeah, November's full moon is called the full beaver moon because it occurs at a time when beavers return to their lodges with sufficient food stores for the winter ahead.
Oh.
In Canada, it's also the time of year when they'd be trapped for their thick winter pelts. So, fun facts either way. Next question, point team. According to CNN, more Americans are trying to impersonate Canadians while traveling abroad, no surprise there, but are quickly being found out. What is reportedly giving them away?
As somebody who has stayed in a lot of hostels with a lot of Americans, I could make a joke here, but I'm pretty sure the answer is just they're loud.
Nailed it. Fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Being loud.
Yeah.
I was
They are-
going to guess their demands for ranch dressing.
Also fair.
They just drink it like from shot glasses.
Yeah, I saw something that one of the culture shocks, one of those stupid videos where it's culture shocks I had when moving from America to Canada, and it was chicken tenders come with plum sauce instead of ranch dressing. I was you were just eating dry chicken tenders with ranch dressing? If you have sauce on the tenders and then you want some ranch, fine, but just dry with ranch, that's fucking nuts. But yes, it is absolutely that they are too loud. According to one travel expert, you can tell they're American because you can hear them 2 tables down. Now, I will just say, on behalf of the Canadians with annoyingly loud voices community,
Yes.
we do exist. It's not because we're American, it's because, as Jocelyn Getty, friend of the pod, constantly points out, we were born without voice modulation abilities, and that's not our fault.
But it's more than that, though. It's it's loud. Is it kind of there's a connotation to it where it's just I'm gonna talk and everybody wants to hear me.
Yes.
Everyone wants to hear what I have to say, as opposed to just I have a loud voice.
That is true. The article goes on to point out that it's not just that they're loud, it's that they're very demanding at the same time, especially with service workers. Other reasons given were that Canadians tend to be adventurous and freewheeling, open to new activities and spontaneity. Americans, absolutely not, favor structure and organization. Canadians don't complain as much and know more about the countries they are visiting. And also, and this is the last point, aren't constantly looking for ways to skip lines like they're at Disney World and bought a fast pass.
I've been in many European hostel, and the number of Americans who will just come in the room and start, this isn't all of them, I've met some wonderful, wonderful Americans, but a lot of them will just come in and start ranting about every single little thing that is wrong about the country that they're in. And I'm like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Why?
And the first one is always, they don't speak English. And
Yeah,
it's
like, go
we're in
home.
fucking Turkey. What the fuck are you?
I know.
Anyways. Yes, I've had some very similar experiences. Next question. So points to Dean and Claire. Next question. You may have seen the many viral videos about how reintroducing wolves to an area does wonders for the local ecosystem. Colorado is currently trying to do just that, but has been ordered to stop by the Trump administration for a particularly Trumpy reason. Can you tell me what it is?
The wolves are all Antifa. Can't trust them. They're all Antifa. They're trying to take down the government.
You're not far.
I think Trump is our only alpha, and the rest of us are betas.
Oh, great answer.
That's
Nice.
fine.
That's wonderful. I want to give you a point, even though it's not right, but that's a very good answer.
I was just going to say that the wolves are hotter than he is.
I mean, wolves are sexy. We'll give you that.
Whoa.
What? Okay,
Whoa.
we don't need to get into this.
They're dogs.
They're sexy dogs.
They are the
And
sexiest of the canines.
I'm not allowed to say the ball, but we're allowed to say wolves are freaking. Look at that back end. On
If
that
you go by
one.
furries, I mean, wolves got to be one of the top 3 or 4 furry choices.
Yes, I didn't realize this was a furry pod. Look, I love.
It's not a furry pod.
We never explicitly stated
Yeah,
that it
it's
wasn't.
not in the liner notes.
That's recorded after the D&D podcast.
Great, good. You know what? Full backtrack. Love it.
Thank you for not yucking my yum, as Niall always
Someone on
says.
the Patreon draw a picture of all of us as furries. Please don't do that.
After the Superbone video. Does anyone know the real answer?
No.
The wolves are Canadian, and
Are
they
you
don't want the
fucking
wolves. They don't want
serious?
Canadian wolves.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious. They are only allowed to bring in American wolves. Now, some people think this is the administration just being like, we don't want wolves at all. And so we're just kind of throwing whatever red tape we can at this thing that we don't really have control over. But the official answer is you're only allowed to, they said you're only allowed to bring in wolves from the area, not from north of the border.
They're smuggling the fentanyl and the wolves.
Yep.
It's very unfair.
Yeah, so Operation Smuggle Canadian Wolves into Colorado starts now. We ride at dawn.
You can just teach them to howl louder and, not apologize and cut lines. It's not that hard. There are dogs. Dogs are smart. They can learn.
That's true. Very true. Our final question and the tiebreaker. This is a complete the headline. You know how it works. I'm going to read a headline. It's going to be missing some words. Complete it for me. Prince Andrew faces calls to surrender mansion he rents from the crown in exchange for blank. And I'll give you the little clue, which is it's not money.
In exchange for another lowly plebeian castle?
Oh, sorry. I should have been clear. He's not exchanging the mansion for something. He rents it in exchange for a certain thing that is not money. So whereas you would give your landlord, hypothetically, X dollars, he's giving the crown something else.
Oh, I misinterpreted the question. Okay, you guys go.
I think it's not money, but it's a proprietary currency he earned on vacation called Epstein bucks.
It's like a theme park, like a terrible theme park.
Yes, exactly.
It works. It works on certain islands. The UK is one of them.
Correct.
The other one is,
Mar-a-Lago. In exchange for never talking about the horrible things he's done.
So in addition to giving them a mansion, they also don't talk about the horrible things he's done. Yeah. Seems like a good fair trade.
Oh, Prince Andrew seems like a pure dope, and I feel like that guy would talk out loud about awful secrets all the time if someone got him on a podcast or something.
I hear you. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Prince
Fair
Andrew,
enough.
invitation's open. We got a chair, man. We got a 5th chair. Come on down. Let's talk. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. He's not good. He's not good.
No.
Not invited to the podcast.
Yeah.
He's not.
I mean, I guess having never thought about this once for 1 second before, yes, I would not have Prince Andrew on the podcast. I agree we shouldn't do that.
I got too
Fergie?
excited.
I don't know. We'll think about that one.
I could ask him how he feels about my old high school having to change their name from his name
Hell yeah.
in disgrace.
Yes. Does anyone know the real answer?
Okay, well, my question is, does he have a lot of hair?
No, I think he's kind of receding, not as much
never
as
mind.
Charles.
I
but
was
he's
gonna
got,
say like in exchange for like perpetual hair transplants for William. But no, never mind. That's all I got.
Awesome. The real answer, Prince Andrew faces calls to surrender mansion he rents from the crown in exchange for a peppercorn. He gives them a peppercorn every year. This is a
Legal
nominal
thing?
figure that dates back centuries.
Jesus.
It's a classic-y British royal family bullshitty thing where you have to nominally give something in exchange for something. And peppercorns used to be, rarer and faced, as the article said, and this is a British article, a heftier price. So yes.
It used to be saffron, and now
100%. When the
so-
sages came over from China, we gave them all of Westminster.
It's so fortunate there's not a huge cost of living crisis in the UK. That would be particularly galling to people who pay their arm and a leg to live in England.
Yeah, and I know it's a legal fiction, and he doesn't actually give them a peppercorn every year because, how do you prove he doesn't? So he can just keep renting the mansion for free. But it is funny to imagine a sexual predator scrambling around looking for a peppercorn to make this month's rent.
He's at a Tesco at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, like some thugs are at his door with metal pipes just being like, you gotta pay up. Where's our peppercorn?
The queen wants her corn. This is back when the queen was alive for the sake of the joke.
Well, she collected them every
Yeah.
year.
Wait, she died?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm being devastated by the celebrity deaths.
Dick
That's
Cheney, the
man.
queen. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
crazy. That's nuts. This is
Yeah,
my
yeah.
dream
I mean, Dick
celebrity
Cheney
couple.
shot her. That's how she went.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, she apologized and then died.
Damn, this is going to change my fan fiction for the worse, I think.
Yeah. So at the end of our quiz, we have a tie. So I'll throw it over to Claire. Claire, let's call you our winner. Congratulations.
Woo.
What would you like the people to know about?
You can find me on Blue Sky at Claire Blackwood and YouTube. I was going to say Instagram. Don't find me on there. YouTube, it's Claire Blackwood.
Wonderful. Ian, I'm going to skip you because we're going to plug the same thing. Subscribe to the Beaverton newsletter, beaverton.com/newsletter. Megan MacKay.
Yeah, my name is Megan MacKay.
What?
Did I say it wrong?
No, you
Okay.
got it right.
All right, cool.
I didn't realize you were going to throw to me, even though you literally, there's no one else. Who else would it be? I'm on Blue Sky at MMMEGAN, and then I had one more moon joke, the genital herpes moon.
So direct and blunt.
You said it was double entendre. That's what that is.
That's not what that is.
What?
It's when you want to say two things, but you just say one thing.
I think it's like how 180 and 360 mean different things, but people think they mean the same thing.
What do you mean?
Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyways.
It's when you spin around.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. And on that note, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel. Take care.
The Beaverton Weekly Report is produced by Andrew Rivamy in partnership with the From Superheroes Network. Visit FromSuperheroes.com to hear more great podcasts like this.